What's up guys, Protagonist here, and today I'll be doing a brand new deck profile on my Altmile Brave deck. So with the brand new booster set, Try 3 next, my Altmile deck has gotten an upgrade. So today I'll be showing you my brand new deck, which I'll be using for tournaments. So if you guys want to learn how to build an Altmile deck, it took me many tries to get this build because there are many card choices to go with the new cards, but I feel there's some old cards that actually goes well with this deck. So today I'll be doing a deck profile so that you guys can learn much more about my deck, and I'll be explaining why I'm using some cards and why I'm not using some. So let's get on the deck profile. First up, the Great Trees. Alright. For the first Great Tree we play is 4 copies of the brand new Altmile from the booster set. Unfortunately, you can only get this Altmile from the booster set. I thought you could get it from the trial deck, but this is exclusively to the booster. The trial deck is only a reprint of the original Altmile. So if you guys are looking for this, try hitting up the booster packs instead of the trial decks. So this card is pretty good in a way, but to be honest, it is pretty similar to the original Altmile. So first skill is GB2. So when you do not perform strike, you have a GB2 skill to work with. So select 5 cards on the field, you gain 4k power. Pretty standard. Yep. So you can get power up your whole regards with 4k power instead of getting a 5k front row. What do I think about it? I think it's quite good because instead of 5k front row, if you have 5 units, you gain 4k, which is 8k per column. So that's huge numbers. And second ability is during your right phase. So the reason why they call it during the right phase is because they want you cannot use the skill when you just read this card. You could write and strike, but you cannot. You must wait a turn so that you can use the skill. It's similar to Luwad. Luwad's ritual strike skill. Yeah. So you have to wait for a turn. If you're striking first, you cannot use the skill. So yeah, you can only use it. So sorry, if you go first, you cannot use the skill. I mean, you have to cross one turn. Let's just call it summoning sickness, okay? I can't explain that. So his skill is during a beginning of a right phase, select 1 card in your hand and super card to the rearguard circle. For during a turn that unit gains 4k power. That's good because for no combo blast, you gain plus 4k power, which will be able to hit new magic numbers because a lot of the Altmile cards gain additional power by its own. So plus 4k is very good. It's a good number in Altmile deck. Second ability is whenever you perform strike. So whenever you strike, select 1 card in your hand and super card to the rearguard circle, and then select 1 brave unit on the field and you can gain plus 4k power. So it's great because the second skill, you do not need to call cards. It says you can call 1 and then select 1 brave unit. So the only restriction is that you can only power up a brave unit, but you can choose not to call any cards. So you could, like, for example, when you perform strike, you already have a unit here. Okay, cool. Sorry, for example, let's say you call this Great Tree on the field. Yes, Brave. Okay, so Brave, it gains plus 4k power. So you do not need to call any card on the field. As long as you can first choose to super call 1 card on your hand. If you don't, it's fine, and then you can 4k power to 1 Brave unit. So that's why this card is pretty good. The reason why I like this skill is because it saves you combo blast, and when I perform my Transcending the Heaven combo, if you guys haven't checked out my clan mechanic, it's GCHB-06. Where I can dish out over 100k in 1 turn. You must conserve a lot of counter blast, and this card is perfect for conserving counter blast. So amazing card. So this is 4 copies. And another reason why I'm really happy right now is because having 8 Altmile guarantees me riding Altmile so that I can ride into my Transcending the Heaven to perform my finisher skill. This deck focuses more on Transcending the Heavens. I prefer to play multiple attacks in 1 turn. So yeah, I will be coming out with other builds after I discover them. It's quite tough because there's a lot of Brave cards right now. So hang in there because I will be doing more deck profiles for Altmile Brave. You guys probably know because I did a lot of Altmile deck profiles for my previous Altmile deck. Altmile Blaster, Altmile and stuff, yeah. So next up, we play 4 copies of Altmile, original OG Altmile. The original Altmile we have is, whenever GB2, your front row gives us 5k power. Very good. If you don't perform strike, you're going to give additional power to your front row, so the opponent have to cut. More pressure means more higher chance for game. So second skill is when you perform strike. When you strike, count blast 1. Super card up to 2 cards from your hand to your rearguard circles. And if you do, sorry, oh my god, it's been a long time since I did this skill. Yeah, and then select 2 units against this 5k power. So basically, you can choose not to call cards similar to Altmile. So you could, like, just select 2 cards on the field without calling anything and it gives us 5k power each. So it's great because 1 Count Blast gives you a total of 10k power boost, which means 2 cards off your opponent's hand. Yeah, great because it's an Altmile as well. Alright, so that's the grade 3s. Alright, the grade 2s we play 4 copy of Suleiman. My build will be, this build is what I tuned for myself. If you guys prefer to play some other cards, go ahead. The reason, there's a few reasons why I go for this build. Alright, I knew in the news, the new Trice 3 set, there's actually a new Suleiman which is Counter Blast 1 and Soul Blast 1 instead of Discard 1. There's a reason why I actually go for Suleiman. First up, sometimes discarding is important for me to activate Brave. Secondly, is this deck does not have enough Soul Blast because of the discard, which is very important deck. So yeah, so 4 copy of Suleiman because it's still very good. Brave, when you're in Brave and you're Altmile Vanguard, it gives us 3k power. And second skill, when this unit attacks and you have an Altmile Vanguard, Count Blast 1, discard 1 cover hand. If you do, super call 1 unit that is other than him, which is a grade 2, and call it to the Vanguard circle, and that unit and this unit gives us 2k power. So it is a recruiter. It is similar to Twin Sword, except you have to discard 1 additional card, and it doesn't need to be boosted, so you can just solo at swing and super call stuff, right? So yeah, the reason why he's also very good is because he doesn't have Brave. His Brave skill is only the power-up skill. His Superior Calling skill doesn't need to be Brave. Thank goodness. If it needs to be Brave, kill me please. Alright, so next grade 2 we play is 4 copy of Conductor Angel. I just call it Conductor Angel. Basically, he is the Starlight Violinist for Brave. Counter Blast 1, Soul Blast 1. When this unit is ridden as a Vanguard or placed on the Vanguard circle, you may pay the cost of Counter Blast 1, Soul Blast 1. If you do, Superior call 1 Brave unit from the deck. So you could call a grade 1. You could call grade 1, grade 3, grade 2. Any Brave. It is amazing because usually cards like Recruiters normally only call grade 1s and grade 0s. But this one you can call any specific grade as long as they have Brave unit. You can even call Doge if you want because he has the Brave ability. So if you need cards in your hand, you could actually just call Doc, and Doc enters, gives you a card back into your hand in case you need for guarding. Yeah, actually sometimes do that. So yeah, call any Brave unit. Amazing, especially because it doesn't have GB1. So early game, I will most likely write this as my Vanguard. Count Blast 1, Soul Blast 1, few of my fields rush for game. Alright, if you guys play against me before, with my original deck, I rush like crazy. Because early game is the chance where your opponent is low at hand size, you did not build up much, you're able to swing in for high damage. So make use of the early game. Remember, Brave is key. Alright. So next is 3 copy of Twin Swords. Because I will do the loop combo with Suleiman and Twin Swords, which allows me to do up to 100k damage in a turn. So yeah. So if you don't have 100k shoes, GG. Basically his skill is when this unit is boosted, you can counter blast 1 and then search your deck for a grade 2 other than him and super card the rear circle. Basically free recruiting or free attack. So use this guy wisely and he'll give you lots of games. It's one of my favorite cards. But 3 is fine in this deck because you definitely need more Brave because there's a lot of Brave stuff to call, especially with him. He calls Brave, right? So that's the grade 2. Now for grade 1s, 4 copy of Desert Runner. Alright, so the reason why we use him is because he's Brave, could be called out by Conductor Angel. Can be called by Conductor Angel, and he is also a very good card in case you run out of grade 2s. Because he himself is also a grade 2. Ability is while in the deck, if you have Altmile Vanguard, it gives us 1 grade. So it's not even a GB2 skill. So you can use if you have cards that super call grade 1s, you could call it. Grade 2s, you could super call this as well as for booster. GB1, if you are in Brave, it gains us 3k power. So it's a 10k booster if you're in Brave. This deck doesn't focus a lot on Brave, but we just use the Brave keywords because of Battle Song Angel. That we do not really need the Brave, but it's still good. So 4 copies of him. It's still one of the best grade 1 Braves we have there. You could play Owl. It's all up to player preference. I'm the type that actually just go for the kill, so I play simple. 4 copies of Stride Helpers. Stride Helpers you could cut down to 3, but I still prefer to play 4 because I don't like to discard 2 cards for 1 Stride. So yeah, 4 copies of Stride Helper, and you can search up for a specific Altmile if you need. When this unit plays on the Vanguard circle, you can search your hand for Altmile review a grade 3, then search a deck for Altmile card. So you could search a new Altmile or the old Altmile, depending on what you like, and then discard one card from your hand. And it helps for strike. 4 copies of Unflippable Perfect Guards. You could use the Brave one, but as I previously mentioned, Counterblast is very, 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 very important in this deck. So I definitely recommend you guys continue playing Unflippable PGs. But if you want to play the non-Unflippable, it's fine, I guess. It's a different playstyle. My playstyle is still the old school 100k damage swing. Yeah, it is very, very easy to pull off now, by the way. So 2 copies of this new, I call her Saber, because she looks like Saber. So what she is now GB1, while this unit enters the red circle, for this turn she gains a 2k power. Yeah, and her continuous skill is in the deck. While you're in Brave, she gains an additional grade. So you can search out with Knights of Twin Sword, which is always nice in case you need a booster. Mostly used because of Brave. You could search out with Battles Conductor Angel as well. So that's grade 1s. Let's go on to trigger lineup. This one, if you guys has previously watched my Brave deck, original deck, Brave deck profile, which I top a lot with, you guys won't be surprised with this lineup. Basically, I play stand triggers in this deck. I don't play crit at all. There's a reason why. It is because most of the stands in this deck are amazing and they have Brave ability. And most of the time, I just throw my triggers on the field and just send them back to the deck, because having a low hand size helps out with Brave. So this is a dog from GB6, Brave. So while you have 3 or less hand cards, and this card enters the rearguard circle, so even if you gain more hand size later during the turn, it is okay because you already triggered its Brave skill. So during the end of turn, you can draw 1 card and shuffle her back into the deck. So once you have Brave, call her out. Even if you triple drive to have 10 or more hand size, you still can use a skill to go back to the deck and draw 1 card. So it's good because throwing triggers a few early game to rush sometimes helps when you're in GB, of course. Don't do it when you're not in GB. So and it doesn't return and you're screwed. So 8 stand triggers. Another one, this one basically gives you additional power and shuffle back into the deck. So just use her because she has a decent skill. 4 crits. I do not play draws because having additional hand size sometimes screws up my strategy. And this crit is just too good not to play. Sometimes you have a problem with the soul, so you use him, and when your Altmile Vanguard attacks, even when it's strike, and this card can enter the soul from the rearguard circle, and it gains and your Vanguard gains 5k power, and you can draw 1 card. So it's okay because it basically replaces itself. So very, very good crit trigger. Alright, for the heal trigger, we play 4 different heals because I'm trying to test out who's my waifu. So yeah, who's your favorite heal trigger? I kind of like her. She looks really nice with blue hair. So yeah, 4 different triggers. I'm trying to find out which is the lucky heal trigger. So that's why 4 heals. And finally, starter we have here is the new starter form, the Trial deck. Counterblast 1 and place this unit into so if you do, you can draw 1 card, and for the rest of the turn, this all units on the field gains Brave ability. So even you gain a lot of hand size, you can still trigger your Brave. So it's very good in case sometimes you really need to trigger Brave. Use your skill and you can use Brave. Basically, it's good because you can also draw 1 card back from its skill. Its activate ability is Brave. So you can only use it when you have 3 hand cards or less. Tap this card and select 1 unit on the field against 3k power. Very good because putting him behind the Vanguard doesn't matter because the opponent's got a perfect guard. Just rest him and power up and fix magic numbers on your rearguard circles. Very good. Very, very good. Alright, so let's go on to our strikes. First up, we have Holy Dragon, Brave Lancer Dragon. This one is Secret Generation Rare. Very nice. Ooh, sweet. So Generation Break 3. This is quite a heavy user, quite a late game card. GB3. Counterblast 1. When this unit attacks, you may pay the cost of 1 Counterblast. If you do search your deck for up to 3 cards with the Brave ability and call them to separate rearguard circles, and then shuffle a deck. And choose a card from your hand for each card call and discard it. So it's good if you have low hand size. I normally use it for times where I have no rearguards and no hand size. And like it's just good to have play 1 copy. Sometimes you really have no rearguards, especially fight against Kagero and Narukami. Just call it. Just call 3 free units for free and for no cost, or maybe just cost of Counterblast. So it's just good to have. It's just great when you're using Brave, alright? So second ability is Auto Vanguard Circle Brave. When this unit attacks, this unit gains a 3k power until end of battle. Oh yeah. Right, this is just an in-case card. The main engine of the deck is basically the Transcending the Heavens engine. So what we do is 4 copies of Aerial Divine Knight. Aerial Divine Knight is when this unit enters the Vanguard circle, flip out a copy of itself face up. If you do, your full front row gains a 3k power until the end of the turn. Even if you swap units, it is still gonna get the 3k power. So something to note. And secondly, if you have 2 or more G-Zone face up, you can Superior Con Grade 2 unit and call it to Vanguard circle, and that unit gains 5k power. Very good, because for no Con Blast, you can get free unit and free power-ups. So, staple. All Royal Paladin decks must play. So next up is 2 copy of Transcending Heaven Altmile. Very, very good card because you can flip up anything basically to use his ultimate skill, which is amazing. His skill is Counter Blast 1. Counter Blast 1 and flip a copy of a G unit face up, so you can flip anything face up. Normally what I do is, my first turn I'll just go for Altmile. Second turn, Transcending, second strike, Transcending, flip up an Altmile. Then third strike, Transcending Altmile. By the third strike, he should be dead because that's almost like 200k damage, so that's quite a lot. So his skill is flip out unit face up. And then for your front row gains plus 2k for each face up Aerial Divine Knight in your drop zone. Sorry, in your face up in your G zone. So you have 3 gains plus 6k power. Your front row gains plus 6k, so that's huge. And when this unit attacks the Vanguard, Superior Core 1 Grade 2 deck from your deck, and it gains us 5k power. So more power and additional attacks. Very, very powerful card. So first strike, your front row most likely is, your first strike of him, your front row is normally going to get 6k power. Second strike is most likely going to get 8k power front row. 8k power front row is a killer, I tell you. Right, so that's 2 copies because you can flip out other stuff. 2 copies enough. If you want to play 3, it's fine. But 2, I usually use 2 maximum for budget purposes. Next up is Feeders. 3 copies of Feeders. Activate once per turn. Then flip out 1 card on your G-Zone face up and... Give me a sec. And discard 1 card from your hand. If you do, Superior Core 1 card with Superior Core 1 Grade 2 from your deck. And if you Superior Core a Brave unit, you can draw 1 card. And then when this unit, and GB3, when this unit attacks the Vanguard, and if you're in Brave, you can select 1 card on your opponent's field to retire, and you can select 2 units to control and gains with 5k power. It's good because this deck doesn't have any retiring power, so in case you really, really need to retire a unit, you can use him. So it's just good to have 3 copies. 1 copy of Selfies, because Selfies is when this unit attacks, you can pay a cost of 1 Soul Blast and bind any number of cards in your hand. And then select 1 unit you control and it gives us 5k power. At the end of turn, return those bind cards back into your hand. So it is good because you could get the Brave for the whole turn, for the rest of the turn. Amazing card. Alright, so 1 copy of Sabreeze, because Sabreeze helps with that misgrade game. If your opponent misgrades, you can always pay 2 Count Blast, discard any card of hand, and write this, so you can trigger all your GB1 skills, which helps a lot. For G Guardians, we play 1 copy of this Create Elemental, 1 Laser Guard Dragon, and 2 copies of the new Brave G Guardian. So basically, if your Vanguard's an Altmile, the name, you can pay the cost of 1 Soul Blast, and it gives a 10k shield, so it's a 25k shield. And then her second skill is when you're in Brave, so if, oh no, I'm gonna die, I have left 3 or less hand cards, this is 5k shield. So total it is a 30k shield in 1 single card. Very, very good card, because it needs a bit of soul, so I recommend you not to play the slime one, which requires soul, the Counter Blast 1, Soul Blast 1, because this deck actually needs a bit of soul for Conductor, Angel, and this card. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed my deck profile on my very own Altmile deck. Be sure to add me on Facebook and subscribe for more awesome deck profiles. So if please leave a comment down below on which decks you want me to do from the newer sets. So I see you next time. Peace out and love you guys. Rawr.